Hey goddesses, how are we doing? Really excited. I'm always excited, right? So, I got off the chat on Wednesday about the sensual confidence, and I was thinking to myself, I overthink a lot, but I was thinking to myself, like, why do I feel so weird talking about this stuff online? Like, I know how beneficial this stuff was to me, and like in my head, and like how I'm embodying this whole experience and how amazing it's been for me. But when I say it out loud, it sounds kind of silly, and I realized that when I get in here and I talk about this stuff is, these are things that we already know. So it feels silly talking about them. We already know them. We just need that push to like embody them. So I got that under control. So I'm like feeling really great today. I feel like my energy has been reboosted. I was able to realign with everything that I'm doing and stuff like that. There's this thing that some people have said, and have you ever jumped into something and you're not really sure what you're doing, but you're sure of what you're doing, but you're not really sure what you're doing? And I feel like that's exactly what the Digital Tease has been for me. It's something that kind of clicked in my head, and I felt really strongly about it. I sat on it for almost a whole year before I even launched it. And that's exactly what it is. It is just an awakening of our inner goddess. It's things that we already know these things. We just need to reawaken them within us. So let's talk a little bit about posing today. This is my jam. Posing has always been my concrete number one strength. So I'm stoked to talk about this stuff with you. So I want to touch on a couple things that can make sure that you get the perfect selfie every single time you snap a picture. And this is stuff you've probably heard before, but again, it's just a kind of like a little reminder. I'm going to move my drink really quick. I have a consultation at 3 o'clock right after I get off here, so I'm just like juicing up. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about when you're taking full body selfies, and these are all going to be very standard generic tips. So if you decide to go into the Digital Tease, that's going to be a step further. That's going to be more embodying that sensual goddess. But everything that I pull into the group is going to be something that you can bring into daily life. You can use them for your vacations. You can use them for your selfies in here, whatever you need to do, but you're going to look great in all your pictures. All right, I'm going to move this down really quick just so you guys can see my body and get that full view of everything that's going on. All right, so the first thing I wanted to remind you was to make sure that you're putting all of your weight onto that back leg. This is actually one of the very first poses I learned when I was working at a portrait, like an actual portrait studio. And I like this one a lot because even if you book a boudoir experience or something with someone else, if you're a photographer and you are in here and you're watching this right now too, this is going to be something that will help you with your clients. So always, especially for women, because we're always very conscious about our waistline. If you're to the side, whenever you're standing for a full body shot, you're going to go ahead. As you can see, all my weight is on that front leg right now. And if you're taking a booty picture, that's where you want to keep it. But to look slimmer, we want to bounce all that weight onto the back leg. So camera's to the front, our leg is to the back, put all that weight onto the back leg. You're going to go ahead and pop that foot on the front leg. And then what you're going to do is cinch it, or not cinch, but you're going to rotate at your waistline only. So let your hips stay in the same place that they're at, and you're just going to shift those shoulders this way a little bit. And then you can play around with your hands. You can do all kinds of poses from this one stance. You can drape your arm down like this way. And a thing that I like to do is to kind of like tighten up the abs right here too. You're going to notice like just a small lift, but it makes a big difference. Another thing to keep in mind is that the object closest to the camera lens is going to be what is the biggest. So you can always play with your waistline here too. You can move your your shoulders forward. If you wanted to make your shoulders and your bust line look bigger, you can rock them back to make your hips look bigger. You can always play with it that way. Another thing is if you don't want your arms directly facing the camera, and if you're conscious about your arms, what you're going to do is, all right, so I'm going to squeeze my arm in, and then I'm going to loosen it up, and you'll see a difference. So in a two-dimensional perspective, that makes a really big difference. So whenever you're standing, don't squeeze your arms in. That's why it's super, super important to really make sure that you're not tense in your images, because that's going to make things look bigger too. Let me see, what did I put here? All right, so here is another one, and this is something I tell a lot of my clients, and it's harder when I'm not looking directly at the person, but this is something that you can do in your self-portraits. Let's say you're looking to the side, and usually we are fixing our posture. Let me see if my camera, can everybody see me? Okay, so if we're straightening up our back, usually we're going to pull the crown of our head back also, so we're going to look like this. But in your images, once you straighten up your back, try to make a conscious effort to kind of shift forward a little bit. Now my chin is really big. Like I have a very distinguished jaw, so mine's going to be a little bit different, and this is going to be something you're going to have to play with on your own in your own portraits. But make a conscious effort to figure out what angle and what like extremeness you want to push your neck out like that. This is going to make your neck look longer, and it's going to make your chin look more defined. It makes a big, big difference. Let me see if I can push mine back. And then forward and down. Huge, huge difference. Okay, so another thing that you see people doing in their selfies and stuff like that is the eye squinch, the squinchy, like the model thing like that. What I have found that makes it a lot easier to achieve that kind of look, because you can easily look like you're like real fast in your picture. Hey! So what we'll do is we'll relax, and something I have found that makes it really easy for me to get that natural kind of squint in my eye is to just kind of raise my chin a little bit. To raise my chin a little bit and keep my eye contact straight. So don't, let's say you're taking your selfie, right? Don't lift your camera up here to keep it at eye level. So you're going to keep your camera right in front of you. You'll tilt your chin up just a little bit and allow your eyes to relax down to that level instead of bringing your camera up. And that'll help you get like the squinch thing at first. And then once you get comfortable doing that, you'll be able to see like where you like your eyes to be more almond shaped. The last thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the pout. Now, this is one of my favorite things to communicate during my sessions, because this is something I actually learned from a professional, well-renowned photographer. So a lot of times, like, we had the duck face craze going on because everybody was trying to like get that like pout look. So what I do in my boudoir sessions, and this is even a little tweak from the photographer I learned from, but what you'll do is, instead of pushing your lips forward, there's a moment before you go to kiss someone, and it's not the moment where you pucker, it's the moment where your lips relax and you kind of feel this pull. So whenever you're trying to get that look in your picture, pretend like it's that moment before the kiss happens. So it's not during the kiss, and it's not in the pursuit of the kiss. It's like the moment when you know the kiss is going to happen, but it hasn't started to happen yet. Does that make sense? And your lips they do this thing. Now, if you go and look in the mirror after this live and you do it, you're going to know, and you're going to be like, dang, she was right. But you do that, so get that like feeling to where you know what's going on with your lips and everything. And then what I like to do to give it more of that sensual kind of feeling versus the top model feeling is I'll make sure that my breath is natural and normal while I'm taking the picture. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not taking shallow breaths. You can even, as your camera timer is going down, you take a deep breath before the shot and then exhale as the shot is being taken. And then that is how you get the pout for the pictures. And I even like to have my lips like spread a little bit, and keeping that whole kissy face thing in mind when you do that is really gonna it's gonna benefit you. I'm telling you, like after this live, go look in the mirror, take some pictures, and drop a comment below if you see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so what you can do, especially for the chin picture, is take a whole bunch of different pictures, because everyone is going to look different at all types of different angles. So take those things that I just kind of told you and work with your camera at different angles, raising your chin, pushing your chin really out, all those different things. And once you start getting all your selfies down pat and you want to take things deeper, shoot me a message. I'll start taking you through the whole Digital Tease process, and you can really go deeper into those sensual selfies if you wanted to do that. Now, I know that Digital Tease is still kind of this new concept I'm introducing to the group, but what it is, to be exact, is it's a virtual boudoir experience. So you're going to get a lookbook kind of inspiration guide that is inspired by a different goddess every month. Right now I'm concentrating on Greek mythology, but I plan to kind of take that and run with Roman and go into all the different religions and all that kind of stuff. I think that would be really cool. But you get an inspiration guide based around that goddess for the month. I'm going to have an entire posing experience, so I'm going to walk you through 3 poses, and then you're going to get 3 Lightroom mobile presets so that you know how to edit your own pictures, you know how to take your own pictures, and you'll have your own pictures to print or whatever. And the reason I don't sell the Lightroom presets by themselves is because what I've found anytime I've purchased presets is they don't go with every picture. And that's the reason for this whole experience, where I walk you through the poses for that particular preset. So yeah, if you decide you want to go a little bit deeper into your selfies and stuff like that, shoot me a message. We'll see if the Digital Tease is the right fit for you. And I hope these things work for you. If that pout thing works for you, please drop a selfie below. I want to see it, and I want to see that it makes a difference. All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I have a consultation I have to get ready for, so I will talk to you again on Monday. All right, ladies, bye. Live passionately.